Alright, what up guys? Good morning. James here, aka the Pomp, and today we got an oil-based review for you guys. So, sorry I haven't reviewed anything for a while. Been out, had a little vacation, and then now I'm like back to work, so that means back to doing a review for you guys. So, this is one of the first products I reviewed. I reviewed it when it first came out, and actually no, before it was even released to the public. But I decided like it's about time to redo stuff. Like a lot of my past reviews are not as accurate or as applicable today as they were way back then. In other words, they're not worth much. Like they're not as accurate as I want them to be. So I'm going to redo a few. And so today we'll be looking at the Iron Society in Firm Hold. So this is probably one of the most, I don't want to say overrated, but one of the most known, like talked about, known, most talked up pomades out there. Like everyone knows what it is, everyone pushes for it, everyone thinks it's badass. The fucking design is badass. I mean, look, it was like one of the first to come in this like little brown glass jar. I think it weighs out 3 ounces, so it's like an ounce less than the standard. You have just beautiful fucking labeling on the front. The Iron Society Firm Hold, beautiful design work, and also the label itself has this like that old like burnt like type of like coffee effect, you know, like when you're a little kid, you're making a book report about like Robinson Crusoe, whatever, like one of those like old book reports. And you're like, oh, I want my book report to look all old and stuff, and so like you burnt the edges and like you stained it in coffee. Like this is like the same idea. And so it takes a lot of work when you're popping out like hundreds and hundreds, like thousands of jars probably. Like it takes a lot of work to like kind of get this effect on every single one, but it's worth it. It's a beautiful jar, and opening it up, you have like a very traditional colored like pomade inside. And like the ingredients are pretty like very simple, very straightforward: white petroleum, beeswax, linolene, and like essential oil. So it's a very like standard product, very simple, traditional type of deal. So like the scent, this is probably one of the things it's most like famous for. Like I like it, I don't love it, but I do like it. But most people actually like end up loving it. I haven't heard anyone who doesn't like it. Has a very like smoky, like very masculine, spicy, smoky like smell to it. I mean, I received one jar that straight up smelled like cigarette smoke, but like this one has like a very like smoky like hint to it with like spice, and it's just reeks of like masculinity. But yeah, so let's go ahead and scoop it out, and you'll notice like even as an oil-based product, it scoops out really easily. And this is their firm hold, so it still scoops out like easily even if it is their firm. Has like a nice waxiness to it. Smears very easily in the hands, very easy to work with, and again, easy to apply. So yeah, I mean, I remember like the Iron Society came out only like a few years ago. It's based out of a barbershop in New York, and like they did well to pick it up real fast. I mean, they did a good job marketing, and like that's really the thing that pushed them off. Like yeah, it's a good product, but it's just the marketing, the aura of it, and the presentation of the product itself that makes the user feel like, I guess, badass while using it, or badass as an owner and supporter of it. And so that's what really like makes their product sell. Like there are a lot of people who swear by this pomade, and when you have a pomade that people swear by, then you know it's at least like worth some time looking into. And even though this is also like one of the priciest pomades on the market, not even close to being the most expensive, but it's one of the more pricey ones, definitely, without a doubt. But they still sell out like a lot, and that just goes to show like in terms of like making a pomade for like brewers out there and stuff like that, it's more than just like your product itself. You have to also work on how like you're targeting your audience, how you market it, like the aura of which you go for with your product. Like in the simplest terms, like, is it meant for rockabilly crowd? Is it meant for like like psychobilly crowd, stuff like that? And like Iron Society kind of targeted like the rugged gentleman type of thing. I mean, I think that whole little schema, that whole little idea is a joke and really stupid, but like it works. A lot of people would like to think they are like a tough guy, yet still a gentleman. Like that whole idea is like big right now, and so it works. And all I'm trying to say is that, like, I'm talking to mostly the other people who are thinking about brewing, or like the other home brewers out there. It's really important to consider these things, and it's not just about making a good product. It's about making a good product that you also do a good job of presenting it and marketing it. But yeah, so like the scent of the product is like kind of sitting around. It's not going too crazy, but it has in the past shown that it will take over the room and stuff like that. But it is a pleasing smell, and it's been easy to apply, easy to work with, and the texture is nice. And so with my pomade all applied, I'm gonna go ahead and start like slicking everything back. As you can see, it's also really easy to comb through, even though it is the firm hold. Like no issues at all. And so I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna go style my hair, and then we'll talk about everything else. Alright, so that should be good enough, and we'll go ahead and call it done and look over the pomade and how it did for my hairs. So as you guys can see, like held down my sides really well. The part was formed pretty nice and tight, and the pomp itself is like an average, like slightly below average height. Like the product isn't super waxy, it isn't gonna give you like some like crazy ass hold, even if it does say that it's firm hold. But what you will get is like a nice shape out of everything. The pomade prevents you like from actually getting like a cone head. You won't be able to style much of a head comb with this thing. Like you will like be forced to style like a pretty low, solid, and like very like natural pompadour, unless of course you want to go on metro and like put a blow dryer to it and put like a brush to it and stuff like that. But like if you stick with like just a comb and stuff, you will get a very natural, very just tight and clean like pompadour. Like the scent, like I said before, is still sitting around. Like I smell it definitely. The shine is like pretty nice, and overall everything is like pretty slick and stuff. And so yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and proceed throughout my whole day, and then come back later this afternoon and go ahead and talk to you guys about like the endurance, the restyle ability. Also, I'm gonna talk about like the build-up quality and basically other characteristics about how I like fare throughout the day and how it will fare in the next few days. So on that, I'll be back and I'll see you guys later today. Alright, what up guys? So my day's basically over, so let's go ahead and look at the hair and see how it did for like the entire day. So I did restyle it, of course. It didn't stay like this the entire day, but this just goes to show the restyle ability. It's like something we expect out of like an oil-based product anyways. But the endurance, so let's say this product actually isn't that heavy. I mean, it has a very like high quality buildup, as in it's a really waxy buildup, which means the residue that stays in your hair is mostly wax, which gives you a lot of strength the next day, whether you use another oil base or like switch to a water base. So that allows you to also wash it out within one day, as in one day you wear it, the next day you put in a water base, it will be removed by the second day. The Restyle Ability, like I said before, is really easy. It's not that heavy, so it stays pretty greasy, especially in heat. It will melt, and so you can really rework that. As in, like a 5-minute walk, no, not 5 minute, like a 2-minute walk to my car in the Houston weather, we're talking like 90, high 80s, it did melt. It's not gonna fall, but like if it got touched, it would completely mess up. It was just basically some like greasy stuff in my hair with very little hold. And that's kind of how it reacts to weather, but overall, like good enough endurance for the day. What else I want to talk about? The scent's basically almost gone now. It's pretty light. It still doesn't have that greasy of a feel. Even though it is pretty slick and stuff like that, it actually isn't too greasy of a pomade, which makes it really nice. Like, this is a quote firm hold, but whether I would actually call it a firm hold with other heavies on the market such as Grandad's or Lockhart's, like that's kind of some controversy to talk about. But overall, like, it did a great job, and to be perfectly honest, like the Iron Society firm hold definitely receives my seal of approval. Like, as much as it is overrated, like it does still score very high. Like the way people talk about it, we expect this to be like a 20 out of 10 or something, but is it really? Hell no. But is it good? Hell yes, and it is really good, but it's still very much overhyped and over talked about. But that's not to say it's not an amazing product still. So I mean, that's what I think about the Iron Society firm hold. Like, okay, and like good strength, good hold, great scent, good texture, easy to apply, very slick product, and also really good shine as well. So like, honestly, performance wise, it's amazing. Endurance is also like good. Restyle Ability is very good. It's something we expect from like an oil-based product, and the build-up quality is actually top-notch. Like, definitely some pomades will give you like a greasy like build-up, like the residue that stays in your hair is pretty greasy, which is not what you want. But this one's actually pretty waxy, which allows you to really style your hair well in the next coming the following days. So yeah, so that's the Iron Society firm hold. If you guys are looking for a product that's similar, obviously the Iron Society, like the original, is also a really similar product. Like, honestly, barely any difference at all. Also, both the Old Dudes original and the heavy are extremely like similar products to Iron Society as a whole. And other than that, definitely check out those other reviews if you're looking for something similar. But I hope you guys got something from this review. Other than that, take care.